on ITV.ie and Irish News Radio. Today is Tuesday, so we'll have our gruesome Tuesday, but we have the wonderful Eileen on later on. So we're just going to have a quick look at what's going on with Gruesome Tuesday because we're going to have the time with Eileen. A wonderful thing came out. The Austrian Chancellor calls on Iranian president and he condemns him and his genocidal statements against the Jewish after he called Israel a cancerous tumour and urged Muslim nations worldwide to unite and destroy Israel. The Austrian Chancellor says, "I strongly condemn the recent unacceptable statements. It is not open to negotiation." He stressed, Israel has a right to exist and defend itself, whether Iran likes it or not. Austria supports Israel and is committed to its security. Austria also closed Turkish-funded mosques and deported 60 Turkish-funded imams, fantastic, and its families, yahoo, excellent, even better, as a part of crackdown on political Islam. 150 Islams are being looked at as they are being funded from abroad. Fantastic, excellent stuff. He looks like a fantastic place to move to if you're thinking of moving. Now, what they don't look at is liberals and the leftists in the West have made up this term called Islamophobia to portray anyone who criticised Islam as a racist. Terrorists all over the world carry out terror attacks in the name of Allah. They justify their violence by quoting verses from the Quran. Islamophobia is a made-up word created specifically to silence debate. Liberals and the left ignore the fact that it is an ideology that has nothing to do with race. Islamophobia is created to silence any possible debate about the problems Islam has with the West. When they go on about white supremacists in New Zealand, they don't look at. He was only saying what, and if this happened, I don't actually believe it really did. I really do think it's a fake flag, false flag. But if you did, he wasn't, quoting verses from white supremacies or anything. What he said was he was getting back from the attacks in Europe. Now, whether it's true or not, it still isn't a book. That is an individual. What happened to, he's got some sort of mental illness, or is that just for Islamics? It's insane. He is a lone wolf, as they call the Muslims. The Muslims aren't a lone wolf. They have a book. They're certainly not a lone wolf, where this guy is a lone wolf. That's the huge difference. There isn't a book for white supremacists. And he wasn't a white supremacist. If he did do this, which I highly doubt, where's the names, where's the faces, where are all these people? It's complete bullshit. But even if he did it because of the amount of attacks and rapes after rapes in the world because of Islam that everybody ignores. The amount of attacks and killings over the last 2 weeks has 5 times as much as this one attack. And that's just in the last 2 weeks. It's insane. But everybody wants to ignore that because it's Islam. Nigeria, there's 13 villages in the last week that have been attacked. 13 villages destroyed. And it's been completely ignored by all media. With the intentions of using collective post-colonial guilt, which Ireland didn't even have. We don't have any post-colonial guilt because we weren't. But it's still because our skin is white, even though you didn't have, any of the nice white kind of privileges you're supposed to have. It doesn't matter. Your skin is white, even though you went through the famine and you were treated as a slave and worse than black. It doesn't matter apparently because your skin is white. So you know what? You get put into this label. So you have to suffer Islam and its barbaricness and everything else because your skin's too white. It's absolutely insane. Set of beliefs from scrutinizing, analyzing, or criticizing. It is a buzzword used as an attempt to silence anyone, whether had a legitimate questions or criticism about its ideology. Attempts to impose Shia blasphemy law to criminalise and criticise of Islam. And you can see this is happening already. It started when Saudi Arabia and Muslim countries tried to pass a UN resolution to force Western states to criminalise criticism of Islam. Canada passed the motion 103 to condemn the so-called Islamophobia, fear of Islam. Absolutely crazy times. You cannot now talk about anything, no matter what it is. It's the same as the UN Pact when that was forced. Criticism of that is criminalised. And that's their way around, because a lot of countries couldn't actually pass the fact that criticism of Islam. So it's pretty much the same thing, because majority of these so-called migrants and refugees the UN will send will be Muslims. So to actually criticise them now is illegal. And anything about that, whether they're raping, murdering, killing, is all illegal. So it's all criminalised. We all need to look at somewhere like Austria and learn bloody German, unfortunately, even though I can't stand the Germans. But, we all need to either, or that, or Eastern Europe. But Ireland is in such a bad way. I mean, Gemma O'Doherty couldn't even have her meeting. The leftist thugs were out and threatened the man who had a pub, who she tried to get. The hotel she was trying to get in was too scared and refused to do it. Then the pub had got serious threats, and he got too scared and backed down. This is scary. Nobody can actually even have this. The only way is for us to go underground and to try and push it from that way, because it is so scary. The leftist scumbags who want the destruction of Ireland will do anything. It's absolutely scary. We'll be talking about that with Eileen anymore. She has more information on what went on with Gemma O'Doherty. So we will be talking in a few minutes. Thank you for listening on the Bonry Show, and we'll be catching up with Eileen.
You are listening to Irish News Radio at irishnews.net. Email news@irishnews.net.